How are you doing today? My name is Calvin Nye. Welcome to the Calvin Nye Comics. I'm currently just doing a quick 30-minute session of just showing off what I'm doing, and I'm going to be planning on getting my scene set up for like a for my comic book Joe Hero. Um, as of right now, I'm already at this part where I finish up most of the work on the previous page, it's all penciled. Now I'm just getting the now I'm just getting the remaining setup on there and getting all the other stories and characters into the story in a better layout. To do so, I also have to add backgrounds and everything else to this. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up my SketchUp, and then I'll just continue from there. So other than that, just feel free to chime in and ask me any questions. And I'm just going to be kind of going back and forth and getting my backgrounds in there. Oh, maybe I should probably also do this so you guys aren't missing out on extra details. So turn on the TV screen, and then there you go. And so basically what I'm doing right now is I'm also going to show you the window that I work with. I'm going to adjust the size. There you go. So this is what the other screen will look like when I'm doing my window setup. So from this point of view, I'm actually going to change some of the shots a little bit. Maybe probably throw in a person right there just to give me it. It's going to place a person as a background reference, and then I'm just going to apply it right into the shot that I'm working on. I mean, at this point, I'm not dealing with layout for the characters or where they are. I mean, because they are actually pretty good where they're at. And put a model there to give me a better idea about And so I'm right now just currently getting this all set up, and then I'm going to make a 2D graphic of this, which is right now 15, no, no, 16 point, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16.6. And then we're just going to do an opposite direction. Yeah, all these stuff are made through SketchUp, which is a program that I'm very I'm very pro I mean I'm very I use a lot. And I'm just going to actually reopen up that file one last time to get a cleaner setup. Because there's more to it than everything than just that. And just going to open that up one last time. Because there was like a few extra scenes that I put in there to make it a little bit to make it fly out a little bit better. Now, instead of like getting a whole entire city background, I could just really just put in this. Ooh, sorry. That was a. No, guys, I hope I didn't blast out your ears by that. There we go. I mean that guy will be the model stand for one of my villain characters. So I'm just going to put that. I'm going to export that into a 2D graphic. I'm going to make that one 16.7, which is basically means page 16, panel 7. Um, Next step, what I'll be doing after that is on my Photoshop. I mean, I don't put my characters in a big loose setup unless I really need to. This is how I just kind of like draw out my stuff. So I think the bottom panel will have the most of the changes on them. And yeah, and boom, and a boom. Okay, now obviously I'm not going to be using this format like I mean, it's not gonna look just like that. It's just my placement for how I do my backgrounds. And so when you see all this, you're not gonna see it is the same background, but I'm not gonna follow every single little thing. Like the ground, like there's a few things that won't be drawn on there, like the groundscape and everything else. Maybe. And just like so it'll be kind of like my set background till I can get something till I can get more to it. Save that. Okay. And then uh, increase the size. Yeah, most of the stuff you only barely notice it. So like once it's yellow, then you'll probably see that much. And then the same thing will be applied on this side too. So whenever I start doing my penciling and fully clean up, I'll have my backgrounds like much better shape than before. And this will kind of like give me a little bit of a better layout of how the page will go on. Same thing on there. Make make another BG layout, And this scene will take place right here. And I'll give him and go to the main image, and I'll just basically no, not threshold. Mhm. There you go. Hmm. Okay, and there you go. We'll put that in there. Get that plate put into place. That's gonna be saving threshold, and then I'm gonna put this area multiplied, just kind of like let me adjust the size. So if I'm gonna have a standing figure right here, this is the scale that everything would look like if he was right on a bus. Though, why is he so huge here? There you go. And so that kind of gives me a quick little layout of what I want as a background and what, but I think a lot of these parts, like these scenes right here, they don't need the background as much because you barely see them as they are. Okay, now on to the next batch of pages on here. I'll be going on to page 17, which in this part I'm going to be switching out a lot of the I'm going to switch out a few things here and there. So with the so I'm going to switch out like this scene right here with this one. So then I'm going to just going to kind of swap this out to do Adobe Photoshop. Now we're just going to be focusing on this upper page right here where basically it would have my T-Rex and also a whole bunch of characters in there, so I just need to get the positioning of all that stuff. For because on the previous page we just finished up the other creature that I actually put in, and after that I'm going to be placing in the shoot. We'll be focusing on the T-Rex, which is not in the same position in this part of the city. So I'm going to go back. And so I'm going to move this guy a little bit closer to here. I'm going to change this up. And then we're going to give him, then what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to move him around a little bit. Maybe just like, I'm going to position his body a little bit more so he actually looks like he's not just standing but more posed. And so, and get that little dino, dino leg spread. And we'll also, I have been actually really been trained on like doing any other format of like placing out my fig of like any other 3D programs. And the program that I'm using right now is SketchUp, which seems to it does the job pretty well for me. Gives me enough of the gives me enough of detail so that if I want to like go ahead and fix up one thing, I'll just like do a further detail and like fixing it up later. I'm noticing I hadn't noticed a lot of people have been using like CGI and all that stuff. Like I was watching new the new show Invincible. I like the show, and I think it's actually a lot of fun and different from like a lot of other like it has a lot of different like things going on for it. And so you know, fun show to watch. A lot of it does do some things different. So it's not gonna be. It had changed up like some parts of the story where I think it was the guy was able to like really rewrite the story a little bit better to fit the animation. And then we just go in and just get that all set up. So yeah, long story short, if you like all those like superhero films and you don't want to keep seeing DC and Marvel, Image seems to be doing pretty well right now. They're making their as when they got into like making a bunch of other cartoons. They're doing like a cartoon on like on Amazon. And if you like some gruesome violence in there, very much it. That's very much a popularity for anyone there. That seems to be a pretty good area for the positioning. Let's get that tail in there. I think the tail will definitely benefit definitely benefit the balance of the tail of the character a little bit better. Dang it. So there you go. That seems to be a pretty good setup. Now I'm curious whether if I should actually just like get it a little bit higher level. Yeah, maybe like somewhere like that. Yeah, that I think that works out. And this is page 17, 17.1. Okay, time to put that in there. Save it. 17.1. And as this is going, and this will be placed into, and let's see. Because there's also what I also do is I don't use that head in my in the illustration. I actually use a different model. And so, yeah. Now we're just gonna filter that thing into find edges. No, not find. I don't like find edges. Threshold. Change it up one last time. Going to erase out all this right here. And so if you see like the comparison, it actually brings up more of an interest to it. And let's get a T-Rex head in there to make it a little bit better. You're probably not seeing that right now, so I'm just going to going to change this Rex head to a different Rex head. There you go. Something that has a good Rex head design. There you go. Actually, can I separate that head? No, that's fuck, I forgot about that. A lot of the SketchUp designs don't have like you know. And now we're just going to switch up the screens a little bit, so we'll be focusing on back on. We'll be focusing on the next part of just doing Photoshop now, and just get back to that. And then what I'm going to do here is get the Rex, get the just the head of the T-Rex this time, just in there, so I don't have to, and just take out all this junk right here. There you go. So to get that all in, I just instead of using the same model, and it gives me a little bit of base of base layout for my monstrosity. I like to, I mean, of course, I'm using my own liberties to actually like readjust this head a little bit, and yeah. And so that part's right there pretty good. I really like how that turned out. And so it might be a hot pink. I'll also get this little setup right here. And that'll be placed for that panel right there. Ah, balls. All right. Well, unfortunately, this is going to be a very short. This was that ends my 30-minute session right now. I have to jump in and back into work. And but if you like what you see, feel free to support my stuff. For the YouTube people, like and subscribe to my work. I actually wanted to, actually speaking about that, I want to thank personally um, Marcus Silva for subscribing to my work, and it was very cool for you to let you know that you like my stuff. Um, Other than that, that's been pretty much it. So follow me if you like my work, and or if you want to subscribe to see the next update, and we'll probably have a little bit more conversation with you next. And yeah. Anyway, thank you very much.